title.
I
What's good, y'all? We are super excited to share this announcement. This summer, Fanatics Fest returns to NYC and is taking over the Javits Center from Thursday, July 16th through Sunday, July 19th. Now you get a chance to meet your favorite athletes from across every major league. Check out live panels and podcasts from some of the biggest names in sports. Buy, sell, or trade collectibles, cop exclusive merch, and connect with fans around the world sharing your passion for sports. Tickets are on sale now at fanaticsfest.com. And when you use the promo code Knicks Film 10 at checkout, you get 10% off your purchase. It's an extra day for the world's #1 sports fan festival coming together under one roof, and you won't want to miss it.
Been that long? You want to try that again outside after school, you punk? After school, and they after school, just meet me at school. After school, and they after school, just meet me at school. After school, and they after school, just meet me at school.
What's good, family? Welcome to another edition of KFS After School. The bell is rung. The bell is rung, and we are ready to rock. I'm Jeff, that's Shaw with a W on that side, and you are amazing. Thank you for tapping in to KFS After School. Before we begin, we got to let you know, this Saturday, we got a watch party cooking. NBA Cup semifinal action, Knicks Magic in Sin City, and we got a spot for you to come rock out with us. Escape the debauchery and the degeneracy of SantaCon. You have a safe haven with us. Live at Penn 6 NYC 132 West 31st Street. I'm not trying to send y'all to
it was 131st Street.
Y'all would have been at brunch. Hey, look, y'all might have had a good time up there too, but rock out with us. 132 West 31st Street, right down the block from the Garden. We're going to have our giveaways. We're going to have drink specials and so much more, so definitely tap in with us. Sean, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, and real quick, I'll say the giveaways. We are giving away a pair of Knicks tickets again, and also, if you want to be eligible for the giveaways, for the specials, you have to RSVP. You see the link, bit.ly/KFS Watch Party 2. So hope to see you there. And as for me, sir, I'm good, man. Happy Friday.
Friday.
TGIF to all those who celebrate, and I am ready for the magic of the cup.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Basketball heritage has come back to New York City. You will hear that term for as long as this cup is going to be in play, because when you speak about basketball heritage, you must speak about the New York Knicks. 3 years ago, first year of NBA Cup, they make quarterfinals. Second year, they get out of group stage, make quarterfinals, don't win. Third year, they get out of group stage, get the wild card. Quarterfinals, another country, Canada, Toronto, win, get to semifinals. And that story still isn't written. So when you talk about the NBA Cup, you speak about basketball heritage.
Yeah, that's amazing. And if you know moment.
Exactly. So let's talk about the week that was. They got 2 wins First on Sunday against the Magic, and then Tuesday, NBA Cup knockout rounds were able to really impose their will to me, Sean, on the Toronto Raptors and get that victory. I haven't seen a Knick victory where they used the trolling of the crowd in order to silence them. Like, the crowd was an active participant, people on the sidelines chirping at Jalen, and they just shut it down from the first quarter on. From the second quarter, after the first quarter, from the second quarter on, it was just a complete shutdown. What stood out to you?
So, honestly, what stood out to me was, and we were watching this game on playback. By the way, shout out to playback. Please, hopefully, someone figure out how to get playback in our lives.
Sure.
Absolutely. Especially if the Knicks get to the final. That will be an amazing playback night. So, the thing that stood out to me was, and I was watching along live, because Jeff and I talk about we are scarred of last year's quarterfinal against the Hawks for all time. Deal with it. And it seems as if they were on bullshit to start the game. But Jeff said it, I think last week he said it, that this team loves to make business decisions. And it seems like the business decision that they made was, they're down 2 starters. This will be easy. And it wasn't. Well, no, 4 of the 5 starters were on that. The captain was not on that type of time. He was like, listen, we are putting these dudes in the dirt as fast as possible. But that first quarter, the offensively was fine. Defensively, they were terrible. I believe they allowed 30. How much they allowed? They allowed 39 in the first quarter to a Raptors team down 2 starters. And I just thought it was going to be a long, annoying, like, either that I knew they could lose. I wasn't concerned that they would lose, but I figured this game is going to be way closer than it has to be. And I don't know what Mike Brown said after that first timeout. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he wrote up. I don't know what he showed them. I'm looking to see when the timeout was. He took the timeout 7:05 left in the first quarter. They were down 15-11. I believe they allowed they were down 15-11. They were down 15-11. In fact, the Knicks were up 11-8, went down 15-11.
Right.
And the defensive intensity just went to another level, to the fact that after allowing 39 in the first quarter, they allowed 17, 13, 27, and 22. So that is 62 points the rest of the game. See if my math serves correct, and it is. They allowed 62 points the rest of the game. And the big takeaway from me and from a lot of people on the timeline was, if they play defense like this, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. First off, check your mic. I think it's on, but it might be the acoustics in the room. I just want to make sure, because friends don't let friends talk with their mic off. So just check your mic. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what Mike Brown said. Hey, yo, Josh, you ain't find those watches yet, right? You ain't find those watches. You want to replace the watches. Y'all gonna have to step up. And that's what they did. You brought up something that was key. After that first quarter, they didn't get past 30 the rest of the game in a quarter. That 34-13, that was all she wrote. And when I say the type of domination that I saw, I haven't seen that from this team in a while. That 34-13 quarter took the air out of the Rogers. Is that the Rogers Center or is that Scotiabank? It's Scotiabank, right?
Scotiabank Arena. I still call it Air Canada Center.
Right. Air Canada, right? Yeah. So Scotiabank, they took the heart. They took Toronto's complete heart in the end of the half. It was like a sudden impact where the fans just sat there and said, yo, what just happened? We was rolling. And shout out to the Raptors. Shout out to Brandon Ingram, because there's another team on that side. And the same way Jalen was cooking, Brandon was cooking too. They were going band for band for that whole first quarter. The problem is without RJ, without IQ, they didn't have enough horses to compete. And eventually, that energy that they were putting into the game, that defensive intensity, eventually you got to score points. And once, and I'll give this to Mike Brown, they schemed Pirtle out the game. Between Mike Brown and Josh Hart, willingly taking and making threes, they schemed Pirtle out the game. And once Pirtle was out, that was all she wrote. And the way that they flipped the switch on defense, that second quarter alone, OG had 2 steals and 2 blocks in that quarter. And not just regular blocks. I'm talking about punching your shit into the second level type blocks. Like, it just felt as if they came out in the second quarter and said enough is enough. Mm-hmm. Like, the grown-ups are in the room. Now it's time. Now we're going to play for real. If you ever played hoops, street ball, I wasn't playing for real. Now we see what happens when they were playing for real, and they imposed their will on that team. I just thought they just were able to flip this switch, and this is where I come back to you, Sean. We've been having conversations for years about team identity. Mm-hmm. What is it, 24 games so far?
Yep.
Semifinals going to be 25. Mm-hmm. What do you think the identity of this team is as of right now?
It's funny you say that because there was a story on ESPN.com on the day after the game, and it said about how the Knicks are closer to an identity. If I'm going to find it here, because there's a quote from it's a quote from Mike Brown. He says, "We're starting to figure out who we are. Early in the season, we had a lot of injuries during the preseason, so I didn't have a good feel for this team, or as good a feel as I needed to have. That's part of the reason why we struggled on the road." And then he also said, "I know this sounds crazy, but we still have a lot of room to grow on both sides of the floor." Who is this team? I would say this team knows that they're good, but they're getting better at knowing what they're good at and what they're not good at. And I think that they are, I don't want to say flip the switch, but they're like, okay, they know what they're capable of. They just have to be more comfortable to do it. And I hope that they're not a team that lets their offense determine their defense, because we've seen that in the past. Like, certain players, if they're not playing well, whatever. But I think this team, and shout out to Tom Thibodeau, will say you don't have to shoot well to play well. Now, granted, they shot well in the first quarter, but they decided, like, Karl-Anthony Towns was 4 of 11 against the Raptors. But you're not going to tell me he didn't contribute to winning that day on Tuesday
16
night.
boards.
Yes.
And probably some of the best defense that he's played in a Knicks uniform.
Yeah.
Like somebody said, I want Cat to play defense like he already has 3 fouls. Because that Cat, he's moving he's keeping his hands up. Mm-hmm. He's not doing the little bullshit push that he thinks nobody sees, but everybody sees. He's not grabbing people. He's moving his feet. Because honestly, he has enough foot speed where if he moves his feet on those bigger players, he'll be all right. Just move your feet and keep your hands up. I want him to play that type of defense 24/7. We know it's capable. Or if you're going to play, if you're going to do the bullshit, conserve, whatever, you just can't have blow-bys. You can't have blow-bys. You can't do whatever. Like, even if you're going to fake contest, right? Like, you got to do those type of things. To me, their identity is of a jazz band. And I think did you see the quote from Will Hardy when he said Jordan Clarkson's
yes, I did.
It's like jazz. It's like he's like a guitarist, where it's like, you know the song, play the song 70% of the time, but when you want to go on your guitar solo, we'll let you cook.
Yes.
They feel like a jam session, a bunch of musicians in a jam session where they're figuring out their melodies and what they like to play. Somebody sets off on the guitar, they go on the bass, they go on the trumpet, they're on the drum solo can kick in. The percussion and the staccato and everything comes together, and it makes beautiful music. And the way in which they can freestyle the music is how they were learning the offense originally, like in the start of the season, where they were just learning concepts. All right, if I'm getting doubled over here, you cut to the corner. If you see that somebody's overplaying, set the back screen, set those the pin downs and do all of that. We're going to do empty side pick and roll. We know from there, we're going to wheel it around. We're going to cut. We're going to move. We're just going to figure it out. It reminds me of when OG first came to the Knicks and he said, I don't know no plays. I'm just going to cut.
Yes, I remember.
If that mentality was an offense, that's what this New York Knicks team is. It's they have their track list, but they're some of the best freestylers you ever heard. That's what their identity to me is a team that individually knows they're good and is still experimenting to figure out how they can be excellent. But they know if they start freestyling and you get in the turn my mic up or some of the hot nine, like when you get in the filler words,
yes.
Or you some of the sounds aren't really clashing, they know, all right, we're gonna play track 3. We're gonna turn up the defense here. We're gonna play track 4. This is Jalen solo song. We're gonna let him go crazy and 20 points and keep us in this game. You know, Cat got his track. Mikhail has his track. The bench are the feature artists, right? Like that's how it is to me. They are a group. They are like a musical group that is finding their way. And above all else, they're serious. Not unserious. They're serious. They will allow you, especially if they know they're going to see you again soon, they'll make their business decision. The next time they see you, it's on site. And in the game, they will try to make that comeback. Like the fake, I don't know if it's so much fake comebacks now as it's, they're really trying to come back. And then when they get to the point where they're like, all right, y'all got this, next time. So that to me is what their offense, their identity is. They're like a musical band on offense, and they're the big brother who, all right, you got enough hits in. I got to let you know that genetics and age win out as of now. So it's good to see, man. I feel like I wish this was the team that was there last year in the Cup quarterfinals. I wish this version was there. I don't think the results would have been the same.
No, I don't think so. But you know what? Sometimes you had to go through that to get to where you are now. And, you know, lessons learned. Because as I said, this team, at that Cup quarterfinal last year, I think was the last time we saw this team be like, all right, we're going to let go of the rope. Because, as I've said, they let go of the rope until it's a situation where if we let go of the rope, our season's over, which is what we saw in the playoffs last year. And last year, I mean, their season wasn't over. Their NBA Cup season was over, but their season wasn't over. So it's sometimes you have, you know, a setback is only set up for a comeback, as they say. And hopefully the lessons learned from last year carried over to this season. Hopefully it carries them all through their next 2 games, which hopefully are on Saturday night and on Tuesday.
Exactly. And let's talk about Saturday night NBA Cup preview for the 5,565th consecutive time this season. The Orlando Magic face the New York Knicks. Every matchup, someone has left scathed. There's been injury. There's been blood, sweat, and tears. Sean, I do not think this should be a normal NBA Cup competition. I know there's stakes. But when you have 2 teams that have played each other this much, we've seen literal dodgeball on the court, multi-sports combined into one. I feel like this should be war games. This should be a steel cage match. Put a steel cage around. Loser leaves Vegas match, because that is the slugfest that I'm expecting from these 2 teams. Talk to me. What are you looking for? What do you expect? What is your preview for this matchup?
So, do you know that? So, the Magic game will be the Knicks' 25th regular season game. 38% of the games the Knicks have played this season have been against the Magic, the Heat, or the Hornets.
So we're in the Southeast Division.
Yes,
we're in the Southeast Division.
Yes, we are winning the Southeast Division.
We are winning the Southeast Division. That's hilarious.
If you take out the Hornets, because we have not played Washington yet, and we have not played who's the other team in the Southwest? Atlanta. We haven't played them yet. 28% of the Knicks games have been against Miami or Orlando, and 16% of the Knicks schedule have been against the Orlando Magic. And as a wise man once said, familiarity breeds contempt. Now, will be their fourth matchup in 31 days.
Which is crazy.
Insane.
Which is crazy.
Which lends to this. No one's surprising anybody. You know what they're going to do. They know what you're going to do. It's time to execute. Now, you said something which I will slightly push back on about how this game is going to be a slugfest and a fight, whatever. I think one team wants to make it that. As Mensa refers to them as the Central Floridian Roughnecks in the Orlando Magic. I don't think the other team wants to do that. I think they're prepared to do it if they have to, but they are going to. If you thought Jalen Suggs was on bullshit in the first 3 games, it's going to be he's going to test the refs to see what he's getting away with from minute 1. I'm also curious to see. I'm sure you'll touch on this as well. Is it better to play the Magic with Paolo and no Franz than with Franz and no Paolo? Because I believe, if you've been listening to me all year, it might be better to play without Franz and with Paolo. Now, let me say this again because I know there's hundreds of Magic fans watching this. Let me say this to you. I don't think Paolo Banchero is a bad player. I don't think he sucks. People may say it on it. That's stupid. Paolo's an immensely talented player. He deserves to be the number 1 pick in the draft to this point, right? He deserves to be an all-star. I understand why people say that, because I say he's Julius Randle, better PR. In fact, that was in the space the other day, and then I said that, and they're like, now you saying he's ass. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't say he was ass. I said he's Julius Randle, better PR. I don't think Julius Randle's ass, but thank you for exposing yourself, right? The Magic play differently when it's just Franz as opposed to just Paolo. And I wonder if Paolo is more of a Julius Randle, Carmelo Anthony, ball stoppy, getting his bag, triple threat, whatever, yada yada. And listen, he can get buckets, right? But I wonder if the offense without Paolo and with Franz seems slightly more egalitarian than with him. And I think that will benefit the Knicks, because the Knicks, to your point, being the band, listen, the lead singer will get his shit off, the drummers will get his shit off, the bass player will get his shit off, right? But with the Magic, is it like Otis and the 5 Heartbeats? And everyone came to see Otis?
Time is on my side. Yes, it is. So, I got some numbers for you. I got some numbers.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk on-offs so far through the season. With Paolo on the court and Franz Wagner off, their offensive rating would be bottom 5 in the league. And their defense would be roughly league average. Okay. I'm talking about we're going to have to carry the 2. We're going to have to carry the 2, divide by tenths of 100, but barely league average. I would say they would be like 16th in the league with Paolo, no Franz.
Okay.
With Franz and no Paolo, their defense, funny enough, their defense would be top 10. It'd be about like 7th. And their offense would be like middle of the league, right? That's what they're dealing with so far. So when you think about and then with both of them, of course, they're doing stellar. Like their differential with Paulo No France, they're almost -6 in differential. With France No Paulo, they're barely above positive, plus 1.3. What does that say to me? That says that with France and No Paulo, they score just enough. And somehow, some way, their defense is better without Paulo on it. And they're able to get enough out of their defense and score just enough to win. But when it's Paulo No France, the offense isn't working. So to your point, Sean, maybe it is ball stopping. Maybe France, when France and when Mo come back, they looking like Germany out there. They looking like the German national team, sharing the ball, getting people involved. France, I think, in my opinion, can break down defenses off the dribble better than Paulo. So when you have that drive and kick, and then eventually, if you don't got the horses to guard France, you collapsing, and then that opens up everybody else on the perimeter to shoot threes. And I feel like, anecdotally, them shooters have more confidence when France is getting them the rock or involved in the offense than Paulo. Because Anthony Black all of a sudden can shoot threes, and Jalen Suggs is super hyper efficient from three. Like people the guys that you would want to shoot, quote unquote, because they have the lower 3-point percentage, they're probably hitting more. They're probably doing more from 3-point range. Like even here, they're France No Paulo on offense, their EFG is like 52%.
Okay.
It's like a point after. So when I bring this up, and I actually know, like I said, I know Magic fans. One of my best friends is a Magic fan. Anytime I bring this up, it's next question. It's deflection with jokes, because he knows, he's like, yo, bro, Paolo is going to have to figure something out, because if this is a trend, the Magic are going to have some difficult decisions coming up. And sometimes it is just fit. Sometimes it's circumstance. Because Bane was supposed to be the one that normalized everything for their offense and was able to bring them over the hump to account for whatever they're missing. I think Bane is in his swing. Bane is in his bag now, but this is still something missing. So I think, especially with the way France specifically has been cooking the Knicks, I think the Knicks dodge a bullet. I think the Magic also dodge a bullet with no Deuce in this game and no Shamet in this game as well. So I do think that the Knicks have more potent offense than the Magic has potent defense to overcome this game. So I expect the Knicks to handle business. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think if it's one thing the Magic team has shown is that they don't quit. And that's annoying as hell. So you're going to have to play 48 minutes to defeat the team. But I do think eventually they're going to have to pick their poison. Are they going to try to make Cat beat them? Are they going to try to make the Wings beat them? And then if they're going to play that game, you're playing right into what the Knicks want to do. So we'll see.
We'll see. I think I had a point. Oh yeah. So I think that they're going to try and slow the game down, especially if Jamal Mosley's. Jamal Mosley's is a good coach, right? Knowing how and shout out to the Magic, they're not trying to win the games 131, 130, 129. Now they did drop 133 on a head top in that second game where you talk about the business decision was like, oh my god, that was the game where Franz was cooking. But again, as I said at the top, they know what we're gonna do. We know what they're gonna do. It's just time to execute. And if you execute, you should win this game. They're missing guys. We're missing guys. Listen, their player is better than the two guys that we're missing, but those two guys we're missing, especially Deuce, it's very important to what we do. So I still think talent-wise, we should win this game, and I'll be disappointed if we don't.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And it's a neutral site, so the whole road aspect of the team so far, I don't think that comes into play. I think it's going to be, I think it's a neutral site. And I think for the Magic to win, Paolo is going to have a monster game. He's going to have a monster game. And I think the bench is where I'm also looking at for a X factor. Jordan Clarkson is going to have another solid game. Can they get production out of Tyler Kolek? Yabusele. Is Yabusele going to make an appearance? Are we going to have to see somebody like Mo Diawara give minutes, or Huck Porty? This might be another Huck Porty game as well. And also Mitchell Robinson, right? He didn't really have a good game against them, I believe, last time. Like, he grabbed boards and whatnot. But once again, the Knicks are going to have to be sustainable when those bench minutes come in. Because I do think, Sean, at this point, you treat it like it's the playoffs. You treat it like it's the NCAA tournament at this point.
Yes.
Single game elimination. These next two games, if you make it out of the semis and you face the Death Star on Tuesday, you treat it like it's single game. It's game 7. Tonight, Saturday is game 7. If they make it to the championship, it's game 7. You do whatever you have to do in that game. And then, punt Indiana. Punt the Indiana game. Sit Mitch, sit everybody, lower minutes, and then you show up the next day for Philly. I think that's fair. I think that's fair of a expectation for them.
Yeah, especially that Indiana Philly game being a back to being a back to back.
Yeah, I'd say it right there. I'm like, you go for broke. You go for broke on Saturday. You do it again on Tuesday, and then Thursday's whatever the game against the Pacers is an open scrimmage, is Lifetime Fitness, and then you figure it out against the Sixers on a second game of a back-to-back. So yeah, any other X factors, anything that you see with this squad that can pop up in the Cup game on Saturday?
Will they let Wendell Carter set those bullshit ass screens?
Dog.
He learned from playing against Bam Adebayo 4 times a year may have had an effect on him.
My man, I was like, how can you tell me that pick was unnecessary at best? Unnecessary at best, but whatever. We move. Now, I mentioned the Death Star if they make it to the championship game, because for me, it's a foregone conclusion they're going to see the Oklahoma City Thunder. The dialogue about the Thunder has been fascinating to me. And I understand, if you're 24-1 or whatever they are, you should warrant hyperbole and immense praise because you do look unbeatable. Yes. But the way I see people talking about them now, they're ready to punt the season. They're ready to say, it's a foregone conclusion that this team has won the title. So I ask you, Sean, should the Knicks, or more so Knicks fans, should they be scared of Oklahoma City?
I'll say this, because to your point, I have seen a lot of, not just Knicks fans, I've seen fans of everybody, of teams, talking about this team's unbeatable, this team's unstoppable, what are we going to do, the league is a wrap, yada, yada. And again, I see other teams, fans of other teams do this, cool. But then I see Knicks fans do this. And every time I read someone talking about there's no chance, we need 3 Hall of Famers to beat them, I say to myself, I thought we were from New York. Like, what is this kowtowing to this team from Oklahoma City? You have some stats, I have some stats for you. You read some stats here, I have some stats here. So, the Oklahoma City Thunder are 24-1. And listen, 24-1 is 24-1. I don't give a rat's ass who you play, right? So you are what your record says you are, right? They're 24-1. They're kicking ass. I saw someone tweeted that they, according to dunks and threes, their strength of schedule, the gap between their strength of schedule and the next team's they have the easiest strength of schedule in the league. And the gap, the rating that they give is -2.6. Second, the Thunder with -1.6. I don't really know what that means. But what I do know is that I said, let me see who they play. So I looked at their schedule. These are teams that they have played these are the teams they have played this year. Charlotte, Dallas twice, Indiana, the Clippers, Memphis, the Pelicans twice, the Trailblazers 3 times, The Sacramento Kings 3 times. The Jazz twice. The Washington Wizards. That is 18 of their 24 games. Now, I will say, and then who are the teams they have not played this year? They have not played New York. They have not played Boston. They have not played Miami. They have not played San Antonio. Now, I'll tell you what's absolutely fucking hilarious. Jeff, do you remember the Thunder's first 2 games? You know what they had in common?
The Thunder's first 2 games?
Yes.
What was the first? At home?
No. One was at home, one was on the road. They both went to double OT.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember. The first 2 games, they were, and that was against Denver and Houston, right?
Half right. The first game was against
Houston, and what was the second game?
At Indiana.
That's right. The finals rematch, which
yes.
I'll give it a pass because, you know, the finals rematches can get kind of, it's like divisional games in football.
Yeah, but like, and now Indiana, and that was a game where we're like, yo, Indiana's not gonna be that bad, and now Indiana's 6-18. But I say that to say, listen, you can respect them, you can laud them, you can be, you know, whatever. But like, the game, to quote the great Chris Berman, that's why they play the game. And I have March 4th circled on my calendar because that's the first time the Knicks go to Oklahoma City. Unless things line up and they play.
Right.
So I'll say this, and I'll throw it to you. Us getting the possibility of the Knicks getting the Thunder 3 times this year is only a positive because they're going to go into that game. Listen, they're not expected to win. If they lose, it's not a regular season loss, so whatever.
It don't count.
You could realistically, and by the way, that's why Amin Al-Hassan thinks that the Eastern Conference team is going to win the cup because he's like, the one game Oklahoma City could be on bullshit in that game and it doesn't count for anything. But them having that extra 48 minutes of like, all right, we see what they look like. It could almost be, and maybe I'm going too far, and I'm not going too far because I'm not a Giants fan, but maybe it's week 17.
Yep, you read my mind.
2011.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. 2006 or the 2007 season. You know, this 2007 season, the Super Bowl was played in 2008. Yeah, the last game of the regular season, for those who don't know, the Giants played at that time, 16-0? 15-0.
Yes.
15-0 Patriots. And it was a close game. Funny enough, it was kind of like the Super Bowl, but the Patriots made the plays that they needed to make to win. And at the end of the game, you know, it was kind of like, all right, yeah, they're 16-0 now. But hey, the Giants showed up, so anything can happen in the playoffs because the Giants were a wild card. If they face them again, you don't know, but, you know, it's a foregone conclusion they're going to win. And then history unfurled the way we know. And the Giants had those data points and that proof of concept to say, we have a plan that worked. We just got to execute it to the highest level to win. And that's pretty much what happened. So to Sean's point, that extra 48 minutes, that NBA Cup game, win or lose, can be nothing but a positive for the Knicks, no matter what happens. Because at least you know what you're going up with the best. And to your point about the strength of schedule, that was something that I had in the back of my mind about who have they really beat. And you know why I had that in the back of my mind, Sean? Because in the front of my face, this is one of the main criticisms that I've heard against the Knicks in their 17-7 record. Oh, well, they've played a cupcake schedule. That's what I've heard people say. They've played a cupcake schedule for the most part. And we've had this conversation before, and I bring up this point again. One, you can only play who's on your schedule. And based on how you play, you get the accolades or you get the criticism. Secondly, it doesn't just matter what the team's record is. Their current form also matters. So, like, if somebody looked at the Raptors' record and what happened against the Knicks, they might say, oh, these guys ain't for real. They're doing X, Y, Z. They won some games, or they won some weak games, but they faced a real team and got put in a pack a couple of times. Not accounting for injury, and not accounting for the fact that at the time the Knicks faced the Raptors, though at least the first game, they won like 7 of their last 8. They were in good form. And the Knicks took that hot team and stuffed them in a locker, right? So that meant more for the Knicks than it did the Raptors. So when we talk about the strength of schedule and who you faced, when you look at the landscape of the NBA, there's probably like 5 teams, maybe 7 or 8, that are the quality wins now. Well, OKC, Denver, Houston, Detroit, New York, Lakers. Did I say Celtics?
You didn't say the Celtics. And we played the Celtics twice.
Right. So right now, you can add Orlando. I'm looking at the standings right now. I mean, you low-key can add the Spurs to that too, I guess, because they've been cooking as well. Like, these are teams, the teams that I've named have at least 15 wins, and I put the Celtics in there because of their current form and what they've been doing. So there's about 8 quality wins floating around the league right now.
Look, I say this. First of all, I'll say this. Anyone who says Knicks haven't played anybody, you're either stupid or you have an agenda. And the Knicks have already played Boston twice, Cleveland, Miami 3 times, Milwaukee twice, Minnesota, Orlando 3 times, and Toronto twice. And it's funny, Toronto was everyone's little darling, and watch out for Toronto until we put them in a pack. Right?
I remember when the Bulls might be better than the Knicks because they started off 5-0.
And they are.
Have they won a game since?
But as I tell people all the time who talk about quality wins and signature wins, and I'm sorry, is this the college football playoff?
Who would be Notre Dame in the NBA?
Yeah. I know who's Notre Dame. It's the freaking Celtics. The way motherfuckers been waxing poetic about them, like, oh my God, the East is wide open. No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's going to be funny. Like, the cream is going to rise to the top. I think over the next couple of months, barring injuries to those key teams, you're going to see the separation. Especially now when we start getting into all-star talk, you're going to start seeing the separation. So, and a lot of these teams, funny enough, the quality win, quote-unquote, teams, you're not really going to see quality matchups until the second half of the season, until we get to 2006, because of the media rights deals, because they wanted to line it up to have the big market teams are all going off in the second half of the season. So you're probably not going to see a lot of this stuff, especially with the Knicks. Their main West Coast road trips are in February and March.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but you got to win the games that are in front of you.
Yeah.
So that as long as they're doing that, they cool me. I'm not afraid of the Thunder. I welcome the challenge. I've seen too many unbeatable teams be beat. So we'll get to the playoffs and let's figure it out and let's see what happens. Let's get to the social media section, Sean.
Yes, sir. All right. First up, we have from my man Skip Salis. Go ahead, Jeff. You can read it.
My personal opinion. Me personally, I appreciate that. I don't think the Knicks need Giannis. In fact, I think Giannis needs the Knicks more than the Knicks need Giannis.
You know what?
That is a fantastic take.
That's
a fantastic take.
When I read this, I said, you know what? Trav is kind of cooking here. And he's not saying the Knicks don't need Giannis. No team doesn't need a top 3 player. But why is the top 3 players available, allegedly, reportedly? Because he wants out.
Right.
And listen, if we believe the reports are true, that he's like, I want to go to the Knicks, and we have a super chat. Shout out to my man Hushzu, who says, if we get Dante, Colin Cowherd voice, Giannis, we're good until the offseason. We're good. No. I'm reading it wrong. If we get Dante, then Colin Cowherd voice, it's Giannis. We're good.
We're good.
And then that's parenthetically until the offseason if we don't get the chip. Get it done, Leon. So I'll say 2 things. One, I love Dante DiVincenzo. I don't know why there is this idea that's been floating in Knicks Twitter for like a year that he's going to become a Knick again.
Well, did you see the private chat? Did you see the private chat? I saw the private
chat. Shout out to Chris Persianen, who reported that the Knicks have had exploratory discussions with both the Pelicans and Timberwolves as they look to improve their guard depth. League sources tell Clutch Points that a native New Yorker and a former Knick have been the center of those talks. And then there's a picture of two players, but their bodies are blacked out, and one looks like Jose Alvarado. The outline of Jose Alvarado, who's from Brooklyn, and the other outline is Dante DiVincenzo, who obviously is a former Knick. But if Devo comes back, God bless. But I say that to say, Trav is making sense. Like Giannis is the desperate one here, not the Knicks.
100%, 100%, and I totally understand the opinion that, hey, if one of the top 3 players in basketball says they want to go to your team, you make it happen so that they can go to their team. But we have been down this road before, especially Knicks and Knicks fans. We have been down this road before about, do you give up whatever it takes to get a top player in the league? And I think this situation, it's even more egregious than the early 2010s when the Knicks flipped the Melo trade, in that this team is demonstrably better. It's already a finals contending team. Regardless of what media outlets want to say and people who got their takes want to say, the proof is the proof is the proof. This team came in as a contender to win the East, one of the top 2. They've been the only team out of the 2 teams that were supposed to be contenders that look like contenders up to 25 games. And they're getting better with every game. I don't believe, and I'm speaking as somebody who's had a Giannis agenda for the last 3 years. Sean will tell you, I've had this Giannis agenda. You could have said as ridiculous as it wants. I seen the writing on the wall. I saw the writing on the wall before it was written. I do not believe it's prudent to blow up this squad for the sake of saying we got Giannis. Now what? Now it's like, yo, you know what y'all need? Y'all need some wings. Like the wings that you traded out to get Giannis. Like, come on, man. I think everyone knows it's contingent upon what happens this season. Now, if they flame out, if the Knicks flame out, then yeah, explore all options. If not, if they win the chip, then you know what, Giannis? You might have to do a year bid and come over in free agency.
Yeah,
come over in free agency. If it's that real, do a year bid, come over in free agency, and then here's the other thing. If it's really about chips, what you signing for? What you signing for?
He's every dollar. That's his.
You know what I'm saying? But that's we talking real talk now.
Yes.
If that's what it is, like, yeah, no, I'm not saying you take the mid-level exception. You can't do that. I wouldn't let him do that. Just like we let Hartenstein walk away. Because we was like, yo, motherfucker, you better go to OKC. Yeah. You ain't never seen that money again. You better go to OKC. This is, you capitalize. You strike while the iron's hot. And you got money in a chip now. And you still got love from the Knicks fans. So why not? So I think Trav was cooking here. Trav Bryan Music. He was absolutely cooking here that it's obvious. If you said who needs who more, who's the team that's under 500? Are they even in the? Yeah, they're barely, because the Bulls stink. They are holding on like a cat on a screen door to the 10th seed. Shout out to Eric Collins. Like a cat on a screen door howling. They are holding on to that 10th seed. Who's in the better position now? Like, come on, man. I think we got to think pragmatically about this, bro. What's the worst? It's like, okay, do you think they can win the finals if they flip Giannis for whoever? Are they closer to the finals just because they have Giannis? What, it's going to be Giannis and Huck Porty?
Yeah, you don't want to trade for a player to have him come to the same situation that he's left, which is why he wanted to trade.
Bro, there was a trade, one of these abolish the trade machine type trade proposals that pretty much ported half of the Bucks onto the Knicks. So now you telling me I gotta root for the Bucks in Knicks outfits?
Yes.
To get Giannis? I'm not doing that. I already know the Thanasis is coming. Like you gotta bring Gary Trent Jr. You're not even giving us Ryan Rollins.
Well,
you bring in Gary Trent Jr. You bring in who did they say? Miles Turner. You bring in all these guys. I'm like, all right, so we're the fusion dance of the Knicks and the Bucks. Is that better than OKC? I don't know.
I'll say this though.
I don't think so.
I'll say this, and then we can move on. Let's say you were able to just replace the current Bucks. Let's say you took the current Bucks. You just took out Ryan Rollins and you put in Jalen Brunson. Are they title contenders? Jeff is thinking for those podcasts.
So remove Ryan. You know what? I'm gonna say no because that was them last year with Dame. Not equating the two, but I'm just saying like it was the similar situation. I mean, you got Miles Turner. You who else? Well, Kuz. Brunson, Kuz, Miles Turner,
Kevin
Giannis,
Porter Jr.
and Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah.
If I squint, they could that could be a semifinals team because now you bringing in playoff Brunson and playoff Giannis. That's when it starts to get spooky. Like the team that you probably don't want to face because there's a chance they can knock you out. I could will myself into saying that team could probably get to the semis. I don't know if that team is beating anybody in the West. I don't think that team is deeper than anybody in the West.
Right.
I don't trust their bench.
Okay.
What do you think?
No, I because when you talk about if it's just the Bucks in orange and blue, could they win? That's why I was like, well, if they had Brunson right now, would they be a title contender? It's like that's what I started thinking about. Like,
right. But then they would still have like a Clarkson, maybe Mitch. But you don't know. You don't know.
No, I don't know.
That's why it's not worth it, man. Let's be honest, y'all. It's not worth it. Not now.
I would allow me to drive for these next few.
Yeah, do you think?
Because this is a story that I have to build. So, going into the Thursday, the Cup quarterfinal against the Raptors, Raptors Twitter was very mouthy, even though they had just basically peed their pants down the stretch against the Hornets the night before and lost. And we saw tweets like this. Knicks fans lapping because this is after we put belt to ass to them at the Garden. Knicks fans victory lapping like we're not missing 2 starters and travel back to back. Don't run on the 9th because it was December 9th. Okay, cool. So the Raptors proceeded to catch belt to ass again. And then the same account tweeted this. Taking a break from this app, Knicks fans are too toxic. And then there's this gif of the dude who's giving the peace sign disappears. And Barnes Muse replied, "Stay strong, they jobless." And then the reply after that is, "They think they run shit because they beat us twice without 2 starters," and then laughing emojis. And then another tweet. It says, "Hello," because he used to be Davion M_Mute. He was a music account with Davion Mitchell, which I mean, music account with Davion Mitchell, whatever. It says, "Hello, former Davion Muse." And then Scotty Barnes Muse said, "Bro really rebranded because Knicks fans embarrassed him." So like his man is turning on him already. But
wait, who was Davion? Oh, wait, who was Davion M. Muse?
That was this guy.
Oh.
He was Davion M. Muse. And then he changed his name. He rebranded his name. He rebranded from a Muse account to something about Palestine, right? But here's the kick. Here's the key. And by the way, he admitted that like the Knicks fans basically ran him off. So I was like, great. But here's the key. He tweets. It says, "First winter break of high school."
Mm-hmm.
People. When I tell you to pick and choose who you engage with on this app, this is a child. Like we make the joke all the time about these are little kids and all shit. This is literally a child who spends all day engagement, rage baiting other fan bases. But guess what? Maybe he's not a child because Barnes Muse doubles back, and Barnes Muse went and found an old tweet of his that said, I feel so lost. I'm supposed to start college, but don't even know what I generally want to do. I don't want to fall victim to the Matrix like I don't know who I am. And that was from August. And he retweeted that and said, grown man pretending to be a freshman in high school, moving like a pedo. So I don't know if this kid is 13, 31, 21, 12. The point is, pick and choose the engagement baiters and the rage baiters you want to interact with on the app formerly known as Twitter.
You know what's the moral of the story here?
What?
Abolish Muse accounts. All of them. Abolish the Muse accounts. Ain't nothing good come out of a Muse account, bro. None of them. No, I don't care. None of them. Abolish it. These are kids or grown men with cartoon avies of basketball players tweeting like they're PR and actively rooting on both sides of the fandom. Oh, man, we're going to get clapped today. Yeah, I knew we were going to win. What are we doing here? Get them the fuck off the internet, bro. This is a zombie app anyway.
Yes.
Can we find the actual humans? Do I have to get Leon and Chris Redfield to traverse Raccoon City and find the real people and destroy the zombies? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. So be careful. All right. I had to drive a little bit back to you.
Yes, sir. Let's go into the rage bait, clickbait, engagement bait Hall of Fame. Some more social action. Who do we have as contenders?
All right, we have 3 nominees today for the Hall of Fame. The first is from Revenge of Bane. And for those watching, for those listening, it is an AI film
slop
of Desmond Bane beaming a basketball at a baby in a Knicks jersey and crying. I will say this. I started laughing. I saw this. I was like, you know what? That's funny. I mean, you're going to lose, but that's funny. But clearly this is engagement bait.
Slop.
Yeah, it's AI
slop.
Yeah. But
AI
you know what?
Slop.
I will give this Magic fan a blind because he actually seems like a real Magic fan because his profile name, his username is 4 missed free throws.
That's real.
So like either his daddy told him something because these kids, they might be 13 years old, whatever. So that's number 1. Our second nominee is also a Magic fan.
This cornball.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me.
You're a cornball, dog.
let me
ISO me on that for sure.
Okay, so Mitchell Ness is in honor of the 20th anniversary of the 05-06 Knicks. They re-released their jerseys, and this dude JP Cullums retweeted said only the Knicks will publicize a throwback jersey collection for a team that finished last in the Eastern Conference. Delusional fan base. Now let me say this. So I clicked on his profile, and you wouldn't believe where he's from. Where do you think he's from, Jeff?
India.
No, Orlando.
I thought he was one of those accounts.
Oh no. But a couple of things. One, I have no idea why Mitchell Ness would choose the 2006 Knicks to celebrate, who are terrible, right? 2, nobody asked for this. Like, of all the jerseys Knicks fans have been beating down, they're banging the table to get brought back, nobody asked for these.
At all.
Nobody wants to celebrate the 2006 Knicks. Nobody. But with that said, how does this make us delusional? Like, how are we delusional? Like, we didn't ask for this.
Well, Sean, greater than 50% of this country reads at a 6th grade level, and sometimes reads at below a 6th grade level, a 6th grade reading level. And part of that reason is because they don't read. I truly believe this dude is illiterate. and he looked at Mitchell and Ness and thought he saw MSG. And either that or, once again, just like 90% of the people on this app, he was rage baiting. He was straight rage baiting, and because he knew that Knicks fans will come in his mentions and tell him you're an idiot because the Knicks, and I was one of them. I was like, yo, how is this Knicks fan delusion when Mitchell and Ness is the one who released it? I didn't know that the New York Knicks and Madison Square Garden Company now own Mitchell and Ness. That would be a game changer. But no, Mitchell and Ness are the ones that re-released this for whatever reason. How does it make the Knicks fans delusional? It doesn't. You just wanted to get 25 cents from Papa Elon for a dirt tweet too. Like, it was whack. Like that was, at least the AI slop was kind of funny. This is just whack. This is just corny. And he looks like an investment banker who's on his fifth hooker in his Avi.
And the reason why I'm blowing it up for those watching YouTube is, to Jeff's point, what's that little blue check next to his name? Tells you all you need to know. Because to your point, it is absolutely, positively slop.
And JG, I understand it was like a 20th anniversary, but some anniversaries you don't celebrate.
No.
Right.
Well,
Go, because I was gonna give examples, but it's just a pitfall. I just saw the Grand Canyon form under my feet. Nope, I'm good. But you understand.
Yeah. And homie actually got verified in this month. So like this month he decided, I'm gonna troll for clout. Last nominee.
Such a cornball.
Speaking of cornballs, last nominee is so Pablo Torres finds out he had the Wu-Tang, he had Method Man from the Wu-Tang Clan, and it was revealed that they had filmed a music video to try and entice Kevin Durant to come to the Knicks in the summer of 2019. And Brooklyn Netcast, who never saw an opportunity to use the Knicks for clout he did not like, because he also has a blue check mark, retweeted it with a smiley face and a picture of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving in Nets jerseys. Here's my question to you. How much of a fucking loser do you have to be to flex two players on a team that won you absolutely nothing? Like,
top tier loser, S tier loser, grand champion loser, Brooklyn Kings County loser of the year. This is one of those Nets accounts that only tweets about the Knicks, right? That tweets more about the Knicks than the Nets, right?
Yes.
Makes sense. They're not even on the team anymore. They didn't win you no titles. You needed to deal with the Knicks in order to replenish your draft capital because you didn't win nothing with those guys. So, I pray that the Brooklyn Nets social accounts can tweet more about the Brooklyn Nets than they do the New York Knicks, because the Mikal Bridges tweets are looking funny in the light. Hilarious, actually.
Listen, people get shit for bigging up the 90s Knicks because they never won anything. And I would push back on them and say, that's not true. They won the the Eastern Conference twice. Like, they won the East. They made it to the finals. If I can't wax poetic about them, I sure as shit should not be waxing poetic about two guys who could not wait to get the fuck off my team the first time it looked like it was falling apart. Like, the greatest moment of my Knicks fandom is making is the Larry Johnson 4-point play in the Eastern Conference Finals that helped them get to the finals. The greatest moment in Brooklyn Nets history is Kevin Durant's big toe on the 3-point line.
Hate to see it. Which means
no, we love to see it. I love to see it. Listen, I will be on. I don't hate the Brooklyn Nets because the Brooklyn Nets are of no consequence to me. And I don't even hate their fans because, like, the ones, like, shout out to Cash, shout out to Malika, shout out to Saint. There's someone else I'm forgetting. Shout out to y'all. Like,
J. Mikey,
Sean
Malcolm.
Yeah. But some of y'all, I'm gonna be stepping on your neck forever.
Well, you know what the problem is. They were Knicks fans who defected, and now they know that they don't have the codes anymore to get into the back door. So now they have to stand their ground. Shout out to Rob Markman, who's trying to make his prodigal son return to the Knicks franchise every 5 minutes. I see you, brother. Nah. You gotta stay on Flatbush, bro. You gotta stay on Flatbush.
I'll put the call out again. If anyone ever has a screenshot of the Rob Markman letter that he posted to when he was deflecting from the Knicks to the Nets, when he was defecting, please, I will pay you cash money if you have a screenshot of that. All right, so who wins? So we have, it's either the Desmond Bane one, this one, or the this other clown.
I want to put both the strung out on sex worker investment banker from Orlando, the Ozark, and the Brooklyn. I want to put them both in.
All right, you know what? It's our Hall of Fame. We can do whatever the hell we want.
I want to put them both in. The AI slop should get in just because it's AI slop, but at least it was clever. A clever enough idea that I wish you would have did with something other than AI, but whatever.
Yeah. So, JP Kellums and Brooklyn Netcast, congratulations. You are now in the Rage Bait, Clickbait, Engagement Bait Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Do we have any voicemails today?
We do not have any voicemails today, which is funny because someone the other day was complaining about how I did the whole thing about the minutes and
I saw that.
Yeah, them playing less minutes actually helps and these things matter. And someone told me that I say like too much and I interrupt myself all the time and I'm doing it for the agenda and things of that nature. And I'll say two things. One, yes, I do say like too much, and that's something I'm working on. But two, why don't you leave a voicemail? Come here and leave a voicemail. You could have sent us the smoke, and we would have read the smoke in your voice live on the air. 641-715-3900, extension 660-862. Again, 641-715-3900, extension 660-862. Because guess what? If you at me on Twitter, I may miss it. Jeff may miss it. Jeff's definitely going to miss it because his mentions are always on fire because he has like 900 things to do. But guess what? If you got real smoke, leave us a voicemail. Stop hiding behind Twitter fingers and keyboards. Say it with your chest and have bass in your voice.
On that note, Victor Wembanyama is looking to make his return at the NBA Cup semifinals. That might be Big Vic's music hitting on Saturday. The NBA Cup basketball heritage.
I'm about to see what our friends at Fanatics Sportsbook have as Spurs money line.
I bet it's like 300. I bet it's like +3.
That is
at least.
It is. Let's see. It's +310. I'm taking this shit right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Once again, it's NBA Cup semifinals action, Knicks Magic, and you can join us, Knicks Film School, Sophie-PR, our watch party. We're at Penn 6, right down the block from MSG on West 31st. Free admission. There is the watch party URL. If you're watching this or you're listening to this, go to Knicks Film School, subscribe to the damn channel, first of all, and then RSVP, because you gotta be in it to win it, but in order to be in it to win our giveaways, you have to RSVP. So make sure that you do that. Lock in with us. We're gonna have the game on. I'm sure for those who want to stay afterwards, they'll run the second game as well. Mm-hmm. So come in. Penn 6 is a really dope spot. So I hope y'all be able to join us. And once again, if you're looking for some type of respite or sanctuary away from SantaCon, please join us. We're gonna have a good time.
Absolutely. Shout out to Sophie-PR. Shout out to Def Pen Hoops, our sponsor. Shout out to Penn 6. It's going to be an amazing time.
All right. So we got the NBA Cup coming up. I do not know what the hell the schedule is after that, because if the Knicks win, they're playing on Tuesday. If they lose, then I think they're going right to Indiana, probably coming home and then going to Indiana. Whenever Thursday or whatever the case be. Do they? Yeah, they play Indiana on Thursday or whatever. Either way.
Yeah. So because they beat Toronto. And because they went in this game, I think they're going to be off for a few days. But
yeah, because it still counts as the two regular season games that they would have had to make up had they not made the cup. So
there you go.
That's why they played. Oh, by the way, before we go out of here, that Magic game is important because they can get the season. They can tie the season series as well. So there's more than just the cup on the line. It's a chance to even the season series that may bode important for the standings race.
Yes, because right now they have the tiebreaker. So if we both finish the same record, they'd win it. If the Knicks would beat the Magic, then that tiebreaker is eliminated, and it goes like conference record or whatever like that. So
for sure. All right, y'all know the vibes. Follow us, Knicks Film School, on all social media. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend about Knicks Film School on YouTube. We like 40K, 50K strong now.
50K.
We're 50K plus. We're trying to get to 60. So join us now. Y'all know a lot of people who like sports content, who like NBA content, who like Knicks content. They should be tapped in with some of the best coverage you're going to see on this app. From the Knicks, from us, from those that are covering the Knicks. So you get a bunch of different shows. And if you want even more, subscribe to our Patreon. We got X's and O's. We got the grade book. We got town halls. We got out-of-town reports. We got a whole lot more. If you need to satiate your basketball hunger, we got you, all right? So that does it. And yeah, we're anywhere where you need podcasts, we got it. And let's keep it real. Probably on Apple, you're probably on Spotify, and if you're a tech head, you know how to get the RSS feed, all right? You just go get the feed and then listen wherever you need to listen in audio form. Sean, anything to say before we dip?
If you leave us a review, make it 5 stars. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 stars.
There it is. All right, for Sean, I'm Jeff. This is KFS After School. Go Knicks. Saturday NBA Cup. Bring the basketball heritage back to MSG. Thank y'all so much for tapping in with us live. Replay gang, we see you too. And we out of here, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See the Fanatics Sportsbook app.